chill out on the bananas. Like that was a lot. Hey everyone, it's Jaclyn. So today I wanted to do a little look back on the past and basically react to my first What I Eat in a Day videos on YouTube. Now I know you guys always say that you love watching my What I Eat in a Day videos, and I've actually been posting them for quite a long time. I think I posted my first one back in like early 2015, could have even been end of 2014. That was like the first year or so when I was eating vegan, and at the time, YouTube was an interesting space for vegans because there was that like raw till 4, high carb, low fat, fully raw movement. In one sense I do appreciate because there was a ton of YouTubers at the time who were talking about it, and that's kind of like, that's how I fell more into veganism, because I started watching all these videos and these people were eating like 12 bananas for a meal and these massive salads, like insane size. And I was honestly just like completely blown away. So I was intrigued, and it like led to one thing to another. So in one hand, I can appreciate it, but on the flip side, I wish at the time I knew that there were other ways to eat plant-based, because really everyone was just promoting eating a ton of fresh fruit. Not that fruit is bad for you by any means, but the quantities and like just the whole only eating raw foods is an extreme end of the spectrum and is not reflective of all the different ways that you can eat vegan. I didn't get that I could still eat like normal foods. I thought it was normal if you're vegan to be eating 12 mangoes for breakfast, which to each their own. I've definitely evolved out of that. And again, although I can be appreciative for that part and that moment in my life, I definitely don't eat the exact same way that I did when I was first going vegan. So let's see what nonsense of a video I made back in those days. I honestly haven't looked at my old What I Eat in a Days in a really long time, so I'm sure I will be cringing and honestly don't even want to resurface these videos, but I'm doing it for you guys. Let's go see what 16-year-old Jaclyn was eating in a day. Okay, so this is my very first What I Eat in a Day video. It was in early 2015, so over 5 years ago. Oh God.
Good morning, world. It's Jaclyn, and I just woke up, so I'm gonna start my day by drinking a nice big glass of fruit-infused water. I just cut up some oranges in the sky and I let it soak.
It does look fire.
Overnight. So I'm gonna drink that. I always like to start my morning by drinking like a big glass.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pause right there. Hearing my voice, like, why am I talking like that? Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you the water that I'm drinking. Like, why am I talking like that? That's not my voice.
Okay, so now I'm gonna have some mangoes. I was actually waiting for these guys to ripen up for like the longest time, but I think they're finally ready, so I'm really excited. So I'm gonna cut these guys up.
The music. Okay, so no surprise, starting out with a fruit meal. Honestly, I still love mangoes to this day, and I honestly don't think, like, I didn't really eat mangoes growing up. Once I kind of went vegetarian and was going vegan, I started expanding the foods that I was eating, and then I kind of fell in love with mangoes. So I will say thank you to the raw vegan movement for inspiring my love of mangoes. Also, I do want to be clear, I was never raw vegan, but I would eat a lot of raw vegan foods. Yeah? Okay. Those look good.
Looks so good. I cannot wait to eat these. So I'm just gonna eat these, and then I'm gonna go do a little bit of yoga, and then I'm gonna actually have my real breakfast, because it's just kind of like a little snack before breakfast. Okay, so I just did some yoga, so I'm gonna make a smoothie now because I'm feeling pretty hungry. So I have some bananas here. Make sure they're nice and spotty and ripe, because that's when they're gonna be the sweetest. And I'm gonna
Please tell me I don't put all 4 of those bananas in my breakfast smoothie. That's just a lot. Not even in one meal, let alone for an entire day, have I had 4 bananas. That's just like, don't like bananas that much.
And I think I'm gonna throw in a beetroot as well, just to make it more.
What? Oh, a beetroot. One good thing that came out of this phase is that I also discovered what a Vitamix was, and I love my Vitamix blender more than anything in the world. It is like the best blender of all time, and I still have the exact same one, although that looks much cleaner, and that's like brand new. But yeah, I mean, I still, to this day, like, I love smoothies. I'm not hating on smoothies. I think something that I was lacking at the time, which I didn't realize because I was just young and not really educated, was just like the lacking of balance. Like, I don't have any healthy fats or protein, and I also Obviously, want to be clear, I am by no means a nutritional expert, and I never angle my what I eat in a day videos as this is what you should eat. I always just want to share with you what I eat, because when I was first going vegan, I didn't even know what vegans ate. Luckily, even back then, I don't think I ever take the angle of being like, this is what you need to eat to be healthy. I'm by no means the epitome of health, nor was I back then. But I do try to now be more conscious about eating more balanced, and if I'm gonna be doing a smoothie as like my meal, whether it's like for a breakfast or a lunch or something, I try to make sure I put a vegan protein powder in there. Maybe I'll throw some greens in there, a nut milk or a soy milk, or add some peanut butter, just so that way it gets like a good balance versus just being like a bunch of fruit in there. I'm sure that would have tasted fire though. Like I'm not mad about that.
So I just added a few chia seeds on top of my smoothie, and I'm gonna drink that, and then I'm gonna head out to the farmer's market and get some fruit and veggies for the week because I'm running low. So I will see you soon.
I still do go to the farmer's market every week, so I haven't changed one bit. I also wonder, was this like on a weekend? This day sounds very ideal. It was like, yeah, I'm just waking up, doing some yoga, eating some mangoes. Now I'm having a fruit smoothie. Now I'm going to the farmer's market. I'm living my best life, I guess. Seeing my fake nails, I don't know what it is. I mean, I go through in and out of phases. I used to have such long fake extension nails that would like literally break through everything. Also big LOL at just like the makeup stain swatch on my hand. I actually remember there was like this very intense lip stain that I was swatching and it just did not come off my hand for 5 days. More mangoes. We need more of those. Oh, bananas. Guys, I'm not kidding. There was one point in my life when I would go to the market and they used to have like a section of a bunch of bruised bananas that were super cheap. It would be like $1 for like a bag of bruised and like more icky looking bananas, but they were still fine to eat. And I was going through smoothies and bananas so much at that time that I think I literally would buy like 4 of those bagfuls, meaning I probably had about 40 ripe bananas like on my counter at one time. And I'm living at my parents' house at this time in my life. Like my parents must have thought I was crazy. This is before my mom was vegan too, so they must have just been like, Jaclyn, chill out on the bananas. Like that was a lot. I mean, I guess in hindsight, there's a lot worse things I could have been doing. I could have been overdoing it and drinking like 10 cans of soda in a day. At least I was eating 10 bananas. But still, I think anything in excess is probably not the move. Ooh, those look good. Ew. Why I included a shot of the butcher's part of the farmer's market is beyond me. That definitely was not a part of the vibe.
That looks so good. This is literally the best bread I've had in my entire life. It's cranberry and pumpkin seed, and it is so good.
I will say I still do mess with that cranberry pumpkin seed bread on the highest of levels. It is just so good, that bread. You guys know though, bread is my favorite food, and fresh bread just always does me right. I mean, I would still do that today. I have nothing to criticize. I would still just eat fresh bread, like plain, not even toasted, out of the bag. I still do that sometimes, so at least I'm staying true to my roots. Let's keep going. What else is there? Oh, what is this I see? I forgot about this.
Okay, so I just got back from the market, so I'm gonna make a tea now. I've got the vanilla matcha tea from David's Tea. I love this stuff, so I'm just gonna pour in some hot water and make that. I'm also gonna put in some agave to sweeten. Can we just admire for a second these sweet potatoes that I got?
See, look at all the bananas. That was like not even at my peak moment though. Like that is like a gentle amount of bananas. But like mangoes, a lot of, there's a lot.
These are huge. Like it's bigger than the butternut squash that I got. I think it's hilarious. I cannot wait to
Aww.
eat it. Like, that's just ridiculous. I love it.
I did want to pause though because I want to chat about that vanilla matcha. I actually forgot how good that stuff was. I don't even know if David's Tea makes it anymore. It's a vanilla flavored matcha powder. I still do love matcha green tea to this day. I don't have it as often though anymore. Maybe I should get back into that. But I used to have that vanilla matcha from David's Tea all the time, and I remember it tasted like vanilla Rice Krispies, and I thought it was so fire. I think that's maybe when I was on my like no coffee kick, which makes no sense because I would have matcha green tea, which still had a ton of caffeine, but like I was definitely experimenting a lot with my diet. And with one thing, I am happy that at a young age, I was feeling inspired to explore, you know, what felt best for me, my body. And I was really trying to be in tune with how to feel my best. So I'm glad that I was experimenting, like, you know, eating this way, even though it was a lot more fruit and raw foods than I normally would. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky that I've always been very into like whole foods and lots of fruits and vegetables, but this still was it's just crazy looking back because this feels so long ago, / it feels, I don't know, almost like not even a part of me, but this is where my vegan journey started.
Some strawberries that I just got from the market. I'm gonna wash those guys and eat a few of those. I feel like
more fruit?
Snacking all day. This is probably like the worst day for me to film what I eat in a day.
So far, just to clarify, all I've eaten is just fruit smoothie, and bread, and then more fruit.
Okay, so it is time for dinner. So I'm gonna make a salad and some sweet potato fries. So I have the oven set to 475, and I normally bake it for like 20-25 minutes until the potatoes get crispy. So I just have a giant sweet potato here. So I'm just going to chop it up into small, ooh, that looks kind of gross. I'm gonna just chop it up into small, like little fry shapes.
Like, Jaclyn, that is a rotten potato. What are you doing? Something is wrong with that. This is also my sweet potato phase. This was, okay, I feel like this time in my life, I was obsessed with eating sweet potatoes. I would eat them like every single day to the point that now, I wouldn't say that I don't like sweet potatoes. Like, I still will eat them, but I have to limit my, like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, it doesn't even appeal to me that much anymore because I've eaten so many sweet potatoes in my life. That also goes for dates. Oh my God, when I discovered what dates are, I was like mind blown. I was like, this tastes like caramel. This is so good. And this is at the time when people would like make together and promote date smoothies where it was like literally just tons of dates and then like bananas and then water, and you'd be like, there's my smoothie. So I was just eating tons and tons of dates. And again, still love dates, but I would eat an entire bucket in one sitting.
Okay, so these are my ingredients that are gonna go into my salad. So I just have a bunch of mixed greens in there, and I've got a red pepper, a cucumber, some green onions, some tomatoes, and an avocado going inside. So I'm just gonna chop those guys up, and I will see you in a second.
I mean, like, the veggies do look fire, I have to admit. But again, this was at a time in my life, I just feel like I wasn't honestly eating that much protein. And not that I had like a protein deficiency, that's really not a thing as long as you're eating enough food. But I definitely wasn't as conscious of adding things like tofu into my diet. I feel like when I first went vegan, I was trying to be like a cool vegan in the sense that I was like, ew, tofu is so gross. Like, ugh, I don't eat that fake stuff. Like, I would like be weird about it for no reason, even though I hadn't even really eaten it a ton. Whereas now I like love tofu. I love my mock meats once in a while. Like, I'm all for that. But yeah, at that time, I guess I just like really wasn't, I don't even think I realized that that was something I maybe should have been adding into my diet. Although I will say, I think I did eat quite a few like beans at that time. So like hummus and beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, all of that. So I'm sure I was still getting, you know, an adequate protein source, but girl was just eating her potatoes and veggies all day.
So here they are. So I'm just gonna let them cool, and then I'm gonna add them to my salad, and then I'll be good to go for dinner.
Oh, is that it? Oh, more fruit. More bananas. How did I have the appetite to eat one more banana? I already had 4 in the morning. So to be fair, I feel like this video was probably like the worst out of them all. And in that sense, I mean, just not eating very balanced. I was definitely eating a lot of fresh whole foods. It just, I don't know, I don't feel like that would be as satisfying to me nowadays. I feel like at that time, what was really popular in the vegan community was eating like a higher volume of foods, but foods that are naturally lower in calories. So I was eating bigger quantity of meals, although I was probably, you know, hitting the same amount of calories that I was before I was vegan. So I was lucky at that time, honestly, that I was young and fit and healthy enough, and I didn't have any repercussions, if there could be any. The thing is, it's like not so crazy. It's not like it's so far off from what I eat today, but I just feel like I'm much more balanced. But again, it was something that I feel like I maybe had to go through and like discover for myself. Oh, this is what I eat in a day number 2 here. So this video looks like it's posted a few months later than that first one. Let's see if this is any better. Okay, right away before I get started, I can see that I'm starting again with some veggie cucumber infused water. I have to say, that is something that I used to do a lot that I don't do as much anymore. And I would do this before I was even vegan too. Like just have some fruit water or some cucumber water. I feel like even growing up, my mom would always have like pitchers of water that would, you know, be infused with some strawberries or something just to make it a bit more exciting. That's always nice to do, especially if you aren't a natural like water drinker, if you find you're not reaching for that normally. Sometimes adding some fruit or veggies can definitely add a little excitement to the water. Also, LOL, I'm just noticing that this video is 4 minutes long. Like what I eat in a day are like easily 25 minutes now. Maybe that just means I'm talking more and need to shut up more. Okay. Let's get watching.
Good morning, guys. I just woke up, so I'm gonna have this nice big glass of cucumber water. I actually chopped up the cucumbers last night, so that way it could all soak overnight. And now I'm just gonna drink that, and I will see you guys at breakfast. So I'm gonna make some oats for breakfast. So I have about a quarter cup of some steel
oatmeal
on the stove with some water. So now I'm just gonna mash up a banana, and I'm gonna put that in there as well.
Okay, so I actually remember this time. So I was probably vegan for, oh wait, that kind of makes no sense. I think I was getting confused with my timeline. I initially started dabbling in veganism back in 2013. So this was 2015. So that's still a pretty significant amount of time. So there was a moment, yeah, so I started off when I was vegan and just by like removing the things in my life that were not vegan friendly. And then I discovered, you know, eating a bunch of fruit, the high carb, low fat, raw vegan movement, whatever. So I would eat a lot of fruit. But then I think it was about at this time in my life where I started to kind of level out / realize what I wanted to eat, and I wasn't eating as much fruit, I don't think, or as much raw food. And yeah, this is when I completely started my love affair with oatmeal. You guys still know I'm a huge oatmeal fan. I eat pretty much oatmeal or toast every single day. And what I will say is that I still am a fan of having a sweet breakfast versus savory. So that's definitely something that stuck with me, but I feel like I've kind of always been that way even when I was younger. But yeah, let's see if this, what I eat in a day is looking a little more accurate to what I would eat today.
Okay, now that's looking pretty gross, so I'm gonna throw that in with my oats. I'm also gonna throw in about a tablespoon of these chia seeds.
I really used to go for it much more in my oatmeal game. Nowadays, I'm so lazy, I'll just throw some oats in the microwave and just kind of like throw whatever on top. But I definitely remember at this time, I would like make fresh oats in a saucepan, like proper 40-minute steel cut oats, and really like caramelize a banana or get real fancy with it. Whereas now I'm just like, I appreciate that energy, but on a day-to-day basis, I'm like, 30 seconds in the microwave, we're good, you know?
And now I'm just gonna sprinkle in a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, that was kind of a lot of cinnamon.
Guys, you don't understand how cringy this is for me. The funny thing is, I'm sure in 5 years, I will look back on this exact video and be like, oh my God, Jaclyn, you're so embarrassing. That's just the beauty of life. But oh my God, I was so,
So my oats have been cooking already for about 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna let them cook for about 10 more because I like to cook them for about 25 minutes in total. So
50 minutes? Or was that 15 minutes?
Okay, my breakfast is all ready now, so I'm just gonna...
Okay, I will say that looks absolutely fire. Those grapefruit and oranges. But also, yeah, that's probably like way more than I would eat for breakfast nowadays. This was also, though, I think at the time I would have been in makeup school, like I was in college. So I would normally eat a bigger meal like to start off my day, and then we would have one lunch break later in the day, and then I wouldn't get home till late at night. So I was focusing, I think, more on eating like 3 big meals versus like I probably have like 3 meals and then like 2 snacks in the day. This looks actually really good, like the cucumber water, like this shot specifically. I'm like, I could mess with that right now.
I also added a few almonds on top, and then I've got some grapefruit and some oranges over there.
The Camelback makes an appearance. You guys know my love for my Camelback water bottle. I have a new one now, thankfully, because that one probably had so many germs on it. The Camelback is just the most iconic water bottle, and I am obsessed with mine.
Granola, which I made in a video actually a few videos back. So yeah, I'm gonna pack that in a little bag and take that on the go with me.
So I think that was my lunch for school. Wait, what was the timestamp on that? It says 5 p.m. Oh, that would have made sense. I could have got home a bit early from school that day. Yeah, that lunch is a little underwhelming. It's just like some snacks, but...
And it's time for dinner now, so I'm gonna make a nice bean, quinoa, and mixed green salad. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of kidney beans as well.
Yes, girl, balance out that salad, get that protein, get those carbs, get the grains.
I also have a cup of brown, or is it red quinoa? Wild quinoa? Can quinoa even be wild? I don't know.
That looks really good. I'm not mad about this. See, already I feel like this dinner is more balanced and like more satiating.
I also have a little bit of fennel left over, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that inside as well. To me, fennel kind of smells like licorice. I'm not like that used to this ingredient, so I've been having fun experimenting with it a little bit.
I'm such a baby in these videos. It's like, I don't know, it's just so funny to look back on yourself. That's one thing that I do feel really lucky about with like YouTube and the internet. It really is almost like an online video diary. And, you know, when I'm 50, I'll get to look back at all this and be like, oh my gosh, 22-year-old Jaclyn was probably so annoying. That's probably what I'll end up saying. But even looking back at like 17-year-old me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was such a little baby. Just like discovering new ingredients and experimenting with fennel in my salads. Like, oh.
So I'm gonna make the dressing, and I'm gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar inside. I'm also gonna add in like a quarter of a lime. Now I'm also gonna add in some rosemary to the dressing, so I'm just gonna pull off the leaves.
Whoa, I was really chefing it up. Wow.
So I'm just gonna mix that together with my fork. Okay, so there is my little salad all done. It looks amazing. I can't wait to eat it. So I just cut up some pineapple. I actually got it fresh today at a market for like $1, which was great. And I also got some mango today at the market, which was nice. So I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna watch an episode of Friends and chill and try to go to bed at a decent time tonight.
I mean, honestly, that fruit looks fire and super fresh and ripe, and I wish I could eat that right now. That looks so good. Yeah, okay. Like, I feel like this is a bit better than the first one. That seems a bit more balanced. But yeah, that lunch was a little lame, I will say. To be fair, I also feel like at that time in my life, that was probably one of the first years or two where I was more inactive than I ever was. Like, I was doing yoga, but I wasn't really running, and obviously I wasn't in any, like, high school sports or things like that anymore. So I feel like I'm eating less than I do, maybe in terms of just, like, calories overall. But I also, I guess, wasn't as active at that time of my life, so it kind of makes sense. I'm gonna jump a little bit forward. Let me go to what I eat in a day, number 9. What year are we in on this one? Okay, so this is in 2016. So this is fast forward a year. Let's take a look at this one quick. Again, only a 4-minute video. Maybe my what I eat in a day nowadays are just too long. Maybe the 4 minutes was where it was at. Right away, just this first shot looks incredible.
Here is breakfast. It was a good breakfast day today. So I basically got a little pancake platter going on. We've got some original pancakes and then some fancy festive pancakes. And I also made a little batch of whipping cream. This is actually just coconut milk, like the fat from it. And I just whipped it up and put some vanilla in there. So let me show you my stack of pancakes.
Okay, so that breakfast looks so fire, and I would definitely still mess with that today. That would be like a Sunday morning brunch if I had like my friends coming over, or if like my parents were coming over, I would definitely still make something like that today. And I still currently mess with the Aunt Jemima original pancake mix. You have to definitely read the ingredients, but there is one. It's the one that says add milk and eggs to it. You're supposed to like make it and add that in yourself. Those ones actually are accidentally vegan, and there's no milk or eggs or non-vegan ingredients inside. So I still use that as a pancake mix a ton of the times. But I did really like that idea of adding like the pumpkin puree and then doing like a whipping cream with the coconut fat. That still sounds so delicious, and I highly support that meal. That looked incredible.
Here is my afternoon little pick-me-up. So I just made a little cup of matcha. I put a bit of almond milk in there as well. I've been loving doing this recently.
Did I just say almond milk? You guys know how I feel about almond milk. I don't know why I was trying to kid myself back in the day and drink almond milk. I don't like almond milk. Like, there's so many better non-dairy alternatives out there, you know? Like, my personal favorite is soy milk, but oat milk is fire. Even cashew milk, macadamia milk, I will pick all of those before like a store-bought almond milk. I think there's something to be said if it's like a homemade almond milk, that's a little different, but like just the regular almond milk you buy at the store, I think is so underwhelming, and it's just not my favorite. But I think honestly at the time why we had that, again, I was still living with my parents. At this time, I think my mom was plant-based, and I know like to her and even to my dad, who was not vegan, almond milk seemed a lot more approachable than saying a soy milk. So yeah, I think that was more of like, that was the non-dairy milk we would carry in my family household, which I get. But now, living alone, buying all my own groceries, you will not catch me buying an almond milk. Unless the almond milk game severely steps up, it's a pass for me.
If you guys actually have any tips on how to make matcha green tea, I would really appreciate that, because I've just started making it at home, and I find sometimes it's still a bit like chunky and it doesn't mix perfectly smooth.
Future Jaclyn here to help out past Jaclyn. The key if you're doing a matcha latte is make it in the Vitamix. It will just blend it up for you and it kind of gives you like a bit of froth. So if I was to make a matcha nowadays, I just always throw it in the blender, whether it's hot or cold. That is the way. It's so much quicker than like hand whisking it.
So I've been trying, but I would love to hear your tips on that. The one that I have here is just the ceremonial matcha from David's Tea. I really like it. It's really good. And then I have a little fruit cup here with just a little variety of like a fruit salad. So I'm just going to eat that. So here's my lunch for today. I have this homemade soup. This is so good. It's been my obsession over the past month. It's like this homemade butternut squash, roasted garlic, and sage soup. Oh, it's
that soup. I actually know exactly what soup I'm talking about. That one is so good. It was a homemade soup, and I am such a fan of like a pureed smooth soup versus like, you know, like a watery broth with like chunks. Like I prefer like the baby food texture. I think that is so good. And I should actually make that again. It's very much so more of like a fall inspired soup because it's very warming and the butternut squash, but that soup is so good. And I don't know why I have not made that. This was also, I think, when I was on my kick of making a ton of homemade hummus, which homemade hummus is so easy to do and it always just tastes better. So I should still be doing that now, which I don't do as often, but that looks incredible. And I would happily eat that for my lunch now.
So here is my dinner. I've got a kale Caesar salad here. This is actually a brand new recipe. I just tried it off of Oshi Glows. They have a bunch of really good vegan recipes on their website.
Okay, this was a fire food day. Like the beginning breakfast was amazing. The lunch looked bomb. Now this dinner looks so good. This is for sure a meal that I made like for my mom because my mom is the biggest like kale Caesar, vegan Caesar salad kind of person. So we were trying out that new recipe from Oshi Glows and that recipe is so good. The massaged kale, the crispy chickpeas on top, again, would kill for a giant plate of that.
Kale Caesar salad and theirs came up and it turned out really good, so I'm very happy with it so far. But basically it's like a kale Caesar dressing on kale with like a little Parmesan crumble, and then these are like roasted chickpeas that kind of are like croutons. So that is what I'm gonna eat tonight. I mean, I guess it's pretty heavy because the dressing is pretty creamy and like fatty. Now, although this is a pretty big portion, I mean, this is kind of a small dinner for me to be honest, but this is like a lazy Sunday for me. I've just been chilling around the house, doing work, stuff like that, so I haven't been super active, so I'm not super hungry today. But this looks so good, I'm gonna dive into it. So for a late night snack, I thought I would make some homemade Rice Krispie treats.
Oh my gosh, I am gonna pause this video because I know what's coming. Oh my gosh, this video, I was so, at the time, I remember being so, sorry, there is literally a drone right outside of my house. That is so bizarre. Sorry, that is so alarming. If you guys only could see how close this drone is, not only to my window, but also it's super dangerous because there's a literal construction zone right on the side of my place. That's super weird. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, this video, at the time, I was so embarrassed / felt like I had ruined my veganism and everything because I'm about to make Rice Krispie squares, and you know, I bought those vegan marshmallows. I was so excited about those. And at that time, I didn't realize that a lot of, you know, those traditional cereals that you see in the cereal aisle from like Kellogg's and Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, things like that, although they might not have milk or eggs in the ingredients, a lot of these cereals actually contain a bunch of different fortified, you know, vitamins and minerals added into the cereal. So this one in particular, I'm pretty sure, is it vitamin D3 in Rice Krispies? That's derived either from lanolin, which is like sheep's wool, or there was either like crushed up bugs in it. One of the two. Anyways, there's something in it, I think it's a vitamin, that is derived from animal products in Rice Krispies. So I didn't know that at the time, and I had posted that, and I mean, at the time, everyone was super kind in the comments, and they were just like, hey Jaclyn, I don't know if you know, but Rice Krispies aren't vegan friendly. And I was like, oh my god, do I delete the video? Like, I don't want to, you know, tell someone else to eat this and it's not vegan, and like, I had this whole minor crisis. Turns out I just left a comment and said, hey, FYI, these aren't vegan. Take that little bit of information and add that to your knowledge. But at the time, I was like, oh my god, I just broke my veganism. I'm such a bad vegan. I made a video about it. Like, I felt so bad about it. It's like, it's okay. You didn't know. Like, you thought you were good. Anyways, let's continue. I'm sure it still looks delicious.
Veganized these before, but I saw these really cool vegan marshmallows at just like my regular grocery store, which was a big surprise. These are the Dandies brand, and there's no...
I still vouch for those marshmallows. They're so good. The Dandies little minis and even the big size ones. They're so delicious. And actually, now what I do is, if I'm gonna make Rice Krispies, there's this brand called Made Good, and they make vegan-friendly Rice Rice Krispies, I'll just use those instead, and they taste exactly the same.
Gelatin and nothing like that inside. I'm pretty sure there's actually like seaweed in this, the carrageenan seaweed or whatever, and that's what makes it like gummy and it replaces the gelatin. So I'm gonna use these today. We'll see how these turn out. But I'm gonna add in some butter and some vanilla, and then of course some Rice Krispie treats. And I'm just gonna make these in the microwave because I'm lazy. So just melt all the marshmallows and butter in the microwave and vanilla, and then I'm just gonna pour that on top of the Rice Krispie cereal. The Rice Krispie cereal. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Honestly, that still looks so delicious. I love that.
So I just tossed these in the freezer for like 10 minutes and they totally set. So I'm gonna eat a couple of those, probably actually like half the tray because they're very delicious. They worked out really good.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. This drone is coming back. Bro, what? Who is doing this? I don't know what to do. Hey. I'm sorry, I need to show you guys. Okay, it's starting to fly away, but that was so bizarre. Okay, it is starting to like fly away now. Sorry, that was the biggest distraction. Back to the end of this video.
So I guess I would recommend that marshmallow brand. They taste literally exactly like regular marshmallows. So that is my day of food. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Be sure to follow me on Instagram.
Okay, so that one honestly seems way more in line with what a regular day of eating would look like for me today. And that was 4 years ago. So it just goes to show, I think, well, one, don't necessarily always follow everything you hear on the internet because, like I said at the beginning, I thought that eating high carb, raw vegan was the only way to be vegan, which is totally not true. And that also goes for things that I say. I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. I eat what makes sense for me and my body and my levels of activity and what makes me feel good. And that's not necessarily gonna make you guys feel good. So I just kind of feel like that's a necessary disclaimer. Again, always when I started making these what I eat in a day videos, I just wanted to make eating plant-based feel a lot less scary and way more accessible and easier than you think. So that was always my goal, and it always makes my day to hear that you guys have either started eating vegetarian or being more conscious of your food choices or picking one day out of the week to eat vegan. So that's always really cool to hear. But yes, oh, the joys. Young Jaclyn definitely was an interesting version of myself. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That definitely helps me out. Make sure you subscribe. And if you do want to see a recent what I eat in a day video, something that I would eat, you know, on a day like today, I'll link some of my most recent what I eat in a day videos up above and down below in the description box. So yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you also know that whole high carb raw vegan, like if you remember that time on YouTube, because that was like prime 2014 era for sure. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys really soon. Make sure you comment, thumbs up, subscribe, do all the things, and that's all for me. Bye guys.